Let's go. Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal PeaceLoveMusic with another episode of the Let's Go Good Morning Show, brought to you live by DeOrganized Media in partnership with our amazing friends at BitcoinLive, Decentralized Broadcasting. It is Thursday morning, the 26th, and I know my title's messed up. I didn't change my titles this morning, so I have the titles from yesterday. I have the date from yesterday. We're DeOrganized. Give us a break. It is Thursday morning. Lots of going on. It seems like markets have settled down a little bit. Still in that neutral range. And lots going on in the Stacks ecosystem. As you know, stx.eco, big vote for the Stacks endowment is live. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Friendly reminder, this is a news show. We're providing news and information, sometimes some education, probably almost every day, also education with that news and information, depending on how you look at it. And then hopefully some entertainment, but never financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Do I look like a financial advisor? Of course not. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not qualified to give financial advice. I'm not trying to give you financial advice. I'm just providing you with news and information for you to do your own research, make your own decisions, and always never invest money you cannot afford to lose. That's a huge, huge factor there. You need to flip the money to pay your bills. Idea, in my non-financial advisor opinion. That being said, the numbers this morning, also real reminder, guys, if you like what we're doing, if you enjoy the content, if you like the show, you support the ethos that we're here for. We are here for the ethos, the decentralized, distributed, permissionless, trustless, open source, censorship resistant, pro-free speech, pro-freedom, pro-human ethos that Bitcoin and Stacks represent. If you like that, share out the live stream. It's very important. It helps us grow. Chads, share out the live stream. That all being said, the numbers this morning are looking okay. Bitcoin coming in as of just before the launch of the show at 107,242. STX coming in at 66.06 cents. Moving up to number 67 by market cap on CoinMarketCap. And the Fear and Greed Index coming in at 50, although I see it's dipped down to 48 again. The top three gainers on CoinMarketCap for the last 24 hours are Dexy, Bitcoin Cash, and BitGet BGB token. Stack STX, earn BTC. That's the basic fundamental. That's the fundamental basis of how proof of transfer works, which ties Stacks layer 2 ecosystem to the Bitcoin chain. You stack your STX, you earn BTC, you're helping secure the network and tie it to Bitcoin. SBTC is programmable Bitcoin on Stacks with smart contract functionality deployable into real Bitcoin DeFi. Stacks has fast, low-fee transactions, proof of transfer security, and native Bitcoin rewards. Tell your friends. Tell your friends when you come across something good with conviction, you know. And if you don't know more about it, do some research before you tell your friends. There's lots to learn about in the Stacks ecosystem. In the Stacks DeFi world, Hermetica is offering 4% yield on USDH. That is a Bitcoin-backed dollar stablecoin that you can stack over at Hermetica.fi and earn interest. They have over $5 million total value locked in the platform. Check them out. You can DCA into Bitcoin, Stacks, runes, and more over at BitFlow effortlessly. And now you can drop all your meme token pets in the BitFlow barn and earn yield on your meme coins like Leo, Dog, Welsh, and others over at BitFlow. Also, check out their flex pools, really interesting. Single-sided liquidity options over there, no impermanent loss. Velar Perp Dex is live. Now you can engage in perp trading. Stake your Velar, pair your favorite tokens with SBTC, earn yield, and trade all your favorite Stacks tokens on Velar Protocol is a Bitcoin native DeFi protocol enabling cross-chain swaps, bridging, and payments in BTC. It connects Bitcoin to 20 plus chains. Zest, at Zest Protocol, you can get 3.81% on your SBTC this morning. That's right. You dropped it in, you're lending it out. It's a lending protocol over at Zest. Risk involved in all of these things, by the way. But you can earn 3.81% today, and that's actually down a little bit, been higher. I've seen it as high as like 4.5%, almost 5%. Dropped down a little bit, 3.81, still nearly 4% on your SBTC. You can also earn just over 9% on your STSTX. That is liquid stacks over that you get at stacking. I'll tell you about in a minute. And the highest yield at Zest today is 91.8%. That's not going to last on AUSD. But you can get 91.8% on your AUSD today if you're stacking over stacking down. At Zest, I'm sorry, if you're depositing it, loading it out on Zest. Over at Stacking Down, you can earn 8.99% on your STX with STSTX. So you can actually deposit your stacks, earn yield on your stacks in STSTX, in STX, value with STSTX, and then take that STSTX, go deploy that in Zest, and earn yield on the STSTX. That's called a value loop. And you can also get 9.67% native regular Bitcoin stacking, which is what I was talking about earlier. Stack your stacks, earn native BTC. You can do that at Stacking Down at 9.67% today on your stacks in BTC, or 8.73% with yield paid in SBTC. The top 3 stacks token gainers on stxtools.io are POS, Shark, and Dog. Dog runes are actually tradable on stacks now. A couple of protocols have that, and we really think that's a hugely cool development. What you can do over at Bitflow and other platforms with Dog token. What is happening in the ecosystem today? Lots going on. It is BPepe Thursday, by the way. Huge shout out to the crew. We had a great conversation going on. I had to drop off to go live, but I think it might still be going for the whatever morning space with Benta and the Good Vibe Tribe that heroes calling them with GP and the good vibes talking around what's going on in the ecosystem. Get your morning started with the whatever morning space, followed by the Let's Go Morning Show, which you're watching right now. We bring you all the news and information, bring on our panel and our guests and our co-hosts, talk around the news of the day, what's going on in the ecosystem, and then we bring on Xenitron and the Find2Earn rounds with the Game Master, sponsored by Rue, Leo, Bitcoin Pepe, Flat Earth, and Fact Fun, and of course the jackpot rounds funded by Skullcoin with STX. Great times, great fun. We do that every Monday through Friday. At 11 a.m. is the Bitcoin Pepe Touches Grass space. That is happening live at 11 a.m. Space on X. Great time, great crew. Definitely got to be checking out the Bitcoin Pepe crew. It's the only Pepe token you need to know about. It's Pepe token on Bitcoin. It's older than the Pepe token on Ethereum, and they got the orange frog. It's just cooler. Check them out. Leather Lounge at noon with Longstreet's going to be sitting down with Munib Ali, and I've been told, or I've heard it is the last episode of the Leather Lounge. We also have, as always at noon on Thursdays, we have Bitcoin and Beyond with Melanie Karstens, and she's going to be sitting down with the crew from Hermetica. I believe Jacob and Tim will both be sitting down with her, or maybe just Jacob. I'm not positive. Then we have All Things Crypto at 5:30 p.m. today. And at 7 p.m., as always, Monday through Friday, we have GPSC and the crew getting down with the DeOrganized nightly show. That is our DeOrganized calendar for the day. Just double checking the events calendar for Stacks. There are a couple of things going on with the New York events. So there's permissionless. It's an all-day event. Stacks contributors will be attending Permissionless NYC, so check them out. And then also there is NFT NYC. and there'll be some Stacks contributors attending that too. So it's nft.nyc. You can check them out online, or head over to stacks.co in the event calendar, and you can get links for any of the regular stuff we talk about from there are always there. So like open working group meetings, and all that stuff. That's all available on the Stacks calendar link. And that is the calendar update for the day. U.S. housing regulators, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, have been ordered to incorporate borrowers' cryptocurrency holdings into their mortgage underwriting assessments. The directive, issued by the Federal Housing Finance Agency, FHFA, marks a pivotal shift in how traditional financial institutions treat crypto assets. This change could expand mortgage access for individuals who had digital wealth but lacked traditional income documentation, bringing crypto deeper into mainstream financial risk modeling. One of the things that I think it was Mr. Wagme somebody caught, I think Wagme might have just shared out, that it's in the bill that, or in the directive, that only cryptocurrencies that are in a recognized centralized exchange. I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, but that seems like a contradiction. I mean, I guess they need to be able to verify that you have the assets, but if you have them on chain, you have them on chain. If you control the account, you control the account. Why do you need a distrusted third party to get involved? I'm not sure. The European Commission plans to recognize non-EU issued stablecoins like USDC and USDT as equivalent to domestically issued tokens under MiCA regulatory framework. This decision sidesteps warnings from the EU, or the European Central Bank, ECB, which raised concerns over reserve liquidity and systemic risks. The move signals the EU's openness to stablecoin interoperability and could streamline DeFi operations and cross-border payments through the Eurozone. Singapore's Monetary Authority, MAS, has enforced a new requirement for all digital token service providers, DTSPs, to register locally for cease serving overseas users by June 30th. Firms that fail to comply face fines, significant fines. I'm not sure what their dollar SGD is, like a Singapore dollar, so it's 250K SGD, or potential jail time. The regulation aims to bring offshore crypto activities under domestic oversight, tightening AML protections and signaling stricter compliance for platforms operating out of Asia's fintech hub. Crypto derivatives platform Deribit and Signal Plus have launched the Summer Chase, a trading competition running from June 26th through July 31st. That's ongoing now, starting today. The contest features a $300,000 USDC prize pool and luxury giveaways to incentivize options trading activity. It's part of a broader effort to boost retail participation in options markets, which are often dominated by institutional players. Traders will compete on P&L rankings across BTC and ETH contracts. Fintech giant SoFi is re-entering the crypto sector with a full-stack platform offering trading, remittances, lending, and staking for BTC, ETH, and other assets. The relaunch is expected by year's end and signals renewed confidence in crypto's regulatory and commercial future. The move repositions SoFi as a serious crypto competitor in consumer finance 2 years after suspending crypto operations amid legal uncertainty. I haven't finished my coffee and it's showing in my inability to speak properly. On June 25th, 2025, Bitcoin spot ETFs experienced a net inflow of $588.6 million. BlackRock's IBIT led the charge with an inflow of $436.3 million. Ethereum spot ETF saw a net inflow of $71.3 million on the same day. BlackRock's ETH topped the list with $98 million in inflows, while Fidelity's FETH saw a modest $26.7 million outflow. Still net gains in the ETF world. That bodes well for the short-term future. hopefully. Everything else lining up, not financial advice. SIP31 community vote has gone live at stx.eco. Stacks has introduced SIP31, a draft proposal aiming to establish a 5-year, $500 million Stacks endowment. It's not just a 5-year endowment, but that's a 5-year plan to raise the funds. It is to fund the endowment with $500 million. It's supposed to be sustained. That they're not looking to spend 500 million stacks. I'm sorry, not dollars, stacks. They're not supposed to be spending 500 million stacks in 5 years. It doesn't necessarily go that way. So I just want to make sure people have realistic expectations about the outflows from there. The plan suggests temporarily increasing annual stacks emissions from 3.5 to an average of 5.75 over 5 years, providing upfront capital for initiatives in DeFi, SBTC adoption, developer grants, and marketing. Governance will be managed by a community-elected committee with unallocated funds subject to redistribution or burning after 6 months. The proposal is currently open for community feedback, with discussions ongoing in the Stacks forum. I actually missed some of my... Okay. So over at stx.eco is where the vote is happening. Get over to stx.eco and vote. I am in full support of this SIP. I think it's actually a huge advantage to the ecosystem. I think it's what Stacks needs to move forward. I'm confident in the people behind this that they will get this done, and it will be a big catalyst for Stacks to move forward. I'm super excited about this. Zero Authority DAO, a decentralized reputation-based work platform built on Stacks, currently has 8 active bounties listed on its public bounty board. These open tasks include art contests, design gigs, and ecosystem support roles, with rewards paid in STX, RU, and USDH tokens. The platform uses smart contract-based escrow to ensure secure payouts, and all participants earn on-chain reputation for their completed work. Zero Authority's bounty board is designed to attract creators, community contributors, and gig workers from across the Web3 space, offering a decentralized alternative to traditional freelance marketplaces. Head on over to zeroauthoritydao.com. If you have not, set up your account and start participating in just some of the bounty offers. You can start earning some STX and others, RuCoin, USDH. There's a lot of opportunities, so get over to Zero Authority DAO. Also want to shout out a couple of the other amazing projects building on Stacks and cranking it these days. BoostX, adding a lot of Stacks functionality to social platforms like X and Discord. Huge fan of them. Rosar and his Charisma platform, constantly just iterating and building new cool things. Love what Rosar is doing. Fact.fun, Rafa's Fact.fun has a bunch of cool tools, including their focus is token launch mechanism with a pre-launch phase and really cool paradigm over there, plus other cool tools that they're building out for the Stacks ecosystem. BNS.1 is the place to go. They've added a ton of new functionality for BNS names. The zone file updates are live over at BNS.1, so you can head over there and start participating and actually getting way more use out of your .btc, .stx, or whatever. Find2Earn. Love what Xenitron's building with the Skullcoin project and all of his games. And then obviously we incorporate the Find2Earn stuff right here on DeOrganized. We love all that they're doing with Skullcoin and Find2Earn. And I also want to shout out Dan with Boom Wallet. Really excited for what Dan's working on with the Boom Smart Shops and the creator functionality, creator economy stuff Dan's working on over there. Really excited to see where that goes. Cannot wait for that to launch out. That is the news, and I'm just going to give you guys a quick update on our amazing sponsors. We are very, very fortunate to have some amazing sponsors for us with the organized marketing partners in the ecosystem. Stacking DAO, the leading liquid staking platform for the Stacks network. Stacking DAO is changing the game by letting users earn up to 10% APY on their STX while keeping their assets liquid. Unlike traditional staking, their unique design means no minimums and users start earning rewards immediately. So there are zero switching costs when moving from other stacking pools. Plus, you've got options. Choose to get your rewards in STX or SBTC, whatever fits your strategy. Want to start earning yields today? Head over to stackingdao.com and jump on in. Stacking DAO is where liquidity meets opportunity. We also have another amazing marketing partner with BitFlow, the top DEX on Stacks, letting you trade native BTC, STX, SBTC, USDC, runes, and more, all in one place by aggregating prices on Alex, Arcadico, and Valar. Recently, BitFlow rolled out Flex Pools, launching with their STX pool to support liquid staking assets, offering flexible deposits, smarter rewards, and deeper liquidity. No impermanent loss. You don't need to have a balanced ratio to participate in these liquidity pools. You can just have your STX, drop it in there, earn yield, pull it out. No impermanent loss on this. Soon they're going to be adding USDH, SUSDH pools. Really great stuff going on over at BitFlow. Also want to shout out the Stacks Zeely campaign is now live. Make sure you're checking that out. Head over to Zeely. I don't know what I did with the link. I don't have it super handy right now. I will get that to you guys soon. But head over. You can actually go over to the Stacks page on X, Stacks at Stacks, and get the link. So I'm just going to do that right now. Head on over to Stacks on X. It is the Stacks, stxdefi.com is where you can go. Share my screen so you guys can see it real quick. Just show you what's going on with that. Just get out of this. Right, so we're here and we're looking at the page. It's stxdefi.com, Stacks DeFi Summer Season 1. And here you got a bunch of quests. It takes you to the prizes, prize information. There's over 50,000 stacks up for grabs, or just about 50,000 stacks up for grabs. You can get started on that with STX DeFi. Click Start Quest. That'll bring you over to the Stacks Zeely page. I get that pop up now all the time. And then you got all these quests you can participate. Lots of ways to earn XP and get up the leaderboard. I got a little bit of work to do to catch up on the last couple of days' quests. But these are all available now. There's no reason. You got some free time. Head on over there, earn some points, learn about some of the stuff on Stacks you might not know about, and help the ecosystem grow. I'm going to bring on the homie. Good morning, GP. How are you doing this morning, my brother?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday, man. How are we doing?
I'm hanging in there, man. Another busy day. A lot of cool things happening in the ecosystem. I'm feeling pretty good about where things are going. You had an excellent show last night. Sorry I couldn't participate. I tuned in, watched a little bit as I could, but I just had so much going on these days, man. It's impossible.
There's 1,000 things to do. We're only one person, man. Like, I can't blame you. Yeah, Crypto Dude had some good points about the Genius Act and how, some of it might hinder DeFi innovations, and they're banning, like, it might ban some stable coins that earn yield and algorithmic stable points. Like, there's a bunch of great points that Crypto Dude made, and I'm glad that he kind of came on to kind of dissect and give us his opinion about the Genius Act. We talked about a bunch of stuff last night, and then at the very tail end of it, Rosar showed us that his yield farms are back online on Charisma. And that's really encouraging. We have a collaboration. We made some NFTs together, and MemoBots are one of the utilities. Gives you some advantages on his yield platform. So it's really cool. Got to see a cool demo. got to have a great conversation. It was good. Good hump day.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. Let's talk a little bit more about like the Genius Act and the stablecoin legislation and what that means and what people should be aware of. What do you think is because there are concerns there, right? The concerns are that you're creating it, that it is just going to be a CBDC where the central banks can just turn people on and off, and it kind of circumvents the entire purpose of decentralized money that Bitcoin provides.
Yeah, like one of the main things like that it addresses is like mandatory KYC. It requires all stablecoin users to go through identity verification. Kind of infringes on our freedom to transact. Like think about it. If you were to go to the store and buy some groceries with a stablecoin, would you be required to show your ID and let people know where you live and stuff like that? So there's a lot in this bill. Like, of course, for short term and regulatory purposes, like people are going to look at it as a bullish thing, right? Like a bullish catalyst. Schiff was talking about how it may be one of those catalysts for an alt season, right?
Well, it's going to add a
like,
ton of liquidity to crypto markets in the short term. There's no two ways about that. It is bullish for price,
right?
But it's also not without risk to the overall ethos of why we're here building and what we're doing here.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to have to like KYC, let people know my information. Like, we had a Coinbase hack, or not a hack, but like their tech support was socially engineered, and people's information was leaked. So there are things that I'm comfortable with in doing in crypto, and then there's certain things that I would like to keep private. Privacy is a very nice thing to have. I would like to, if I don't want to be treated like a suspicious person by default, right? Like, I shouldn't have to. We should have the freedom to transact anonymously. I should be able to like send my buddy $20 if I wanted to give that to my friend without having to have the government involved in oversight. And Schiff made some good points, like, right, like it just depends on how they enforce it.
You can always do that with Bitcoin. They won't be able to stop you from doing that with Bitcoin. What's up?
Yeah, this is just for stable coins. Like, the Genius Act is only stable, so you're right. And then also, like, they have the Clarity Act that was just passed as well. And some of the things within the Clarity Act and the Genius Act are kind of contradictory. I just need to do some more research on it. It's one of those things. Crypto Dude opened my eyes up a little bit. I need to dive a little bit deeper rather than just look at it.
Another thing that came out was the order for the mortgage, the federal mortgage-backed entities that they have to consider crypto assets towards a borrower's creditworthiness. I saw something. I haven't had a chance to follow up to make sure it is accurate, but I did see something that suggested that there's wording in that directive that only funds that are on a reputable centralized exchange are considered valid. And that seems a little unnecessary and burdensome, I would say. Maybe a challenge for the court or something.
Does that mean it needs to be custody to be collateral?
Well, and that's the thing. It's not collateral. It's your financial status that qualifies you for your job and your income and your actual physical assets. Like, you can't go with I have cash in the mattress and have that qualify. But cashing in the mattress can't be verified. Cash in your, crypto in your wallet can be. So, and it can be monitored, actually. They can also see when you move that out. If you spend it on something, they can adjust your credit risk. There could be other levers.
Yeah, it's just a chain hook away. Yeah.
Right. It doesn't have to be. Why would they? Are they looking to take it in default? If you default on your mortgage, they're going to take your crypto out of Coinbase. That doesn't work. That makes it way more risky. But at the end of the day, it's just deployed by the banks to get your Bitcoin. Then, right? They just want to get your Bitcoin or just fund it into Coinbase so they can maybe steal it that way. Who knows?
Well, you know how there was this moment where the AI companies tried to say, hey, all you regular people, you can't use AIs because the environment, right?
Yeah, right,
what I mean? The incumbents will try to lobby, kind of cabal protectionism, like you should expect that kind of thing.
Right. And you're right. We should expect all that, and it's the same thing with the Genius Act. It's protectionism. They don't want hermeticas. They don't want decentralized, distributed, Bitcoin-centric solutions that they can't control.
So, but is there any way of stopping that, you think?
Well, where does BlackRock custody their BTC? Oh, on a centralized exchange. So BlackRock can use that as an asset with which to borrow against and get mortgages.
You're Michael Saylor, and you get a Michael Saylor, and everyone becomes Michael Saylor, right?
Well, everyone that's accumulating Bitcoin will have a distinct advantage towards gobbling up available real estate.
Well, I was talking to Rocky about how a lot of startups now are taking money in Bitcoin, and that's
Rocky from Red Block Labs.
Yes, yeah, And so he was saying how, if they take their investment in Bitcoin, even if the business fails, the Bitcoin makes up for it over the span of 3 to 5 years. Like if you take 20% of your investment in Bitcoin and then keep that as a reserve, you know what I mean?
Right, but at what point does everyone just stop producing anything business-wise and just accumulate Bitcoin and then borrow against it and then buy more Bitcoin, and that's just what everybody's doing, and then we have no productivity outside of that?
Yeah, the challenge of circulation of value, you know what I mean? Because, when we talk about what is the North Star metrics or even stats, they talk about what? Total value locked. And Tripp introduced me to the idea that total value locked is one metric, but total daily volume of transactions is also just as important.
It's
right?
Maybe more so, because locked value doesn't do shit. Like, unless you're actually doing something
generating
else.
the yield.
Is it? Not if there's no transactions with it. Not if it's actually not being loaned out and done something productively with.
I thought we were post-productivity.
Not yet.
Postmodernism is like post-productivity.
Right. Well, and that might be like, that's what I was saying. Like, at some point it becomes, you can't only have super hard money, because it disincentivizes, eventually it disincentivizes use of that capital to invest in anything else, because the risk is too high in the value of because the value of it now is going to be less than the value of it in the future against a declining fiat value. So your return on whatever you're taking that Bitcoin into is got to be more than holding the Bitcoin, or at least more than you expect from holding the Bitcoin. So it becomes a problem.
Well, I mean, that's why we have Solana, right? Sorry.
One of that, plus it's, pump fun goodness, I guess, right? That's the
Yeah.
aim.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. I mean, I think that's the reason why we have USDC and dollar stable coins too. That's the reason why we have the US dollar. That's why the dollar is a fiat currency. That's why they got rid of the gold standard, because gold was too hard for them to expand the economy versus their, debt based.
Yeah, they couldn't do their SIP 31 with gold.
No, they definitely couldn't. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do OPEC with gold.
No.
That's really what it boils down to, is they couldn't do OPEC with gold.
But I mean, one might argue that in 1961, the U.S. positioned itself to dominate the next 60 years of global commerce.
Still dominating.
How dare you? So all hail the Federal Reserve. Thank you for AC and running water.
Well, but I think here's that we get AC and running water, and they get enormous financial power with which they can basically just dictate terms.
And the water has fluoride now.
And the water has fluoride.
Yeah.
And the food's making us sick, and just to treat us as a healthcare as a profit model and all of that stuff. So
you make it sick, but it tastes good.
I don't know. Maybe you just don't remember what it used to taste like.
Yeah. But if you never knew it, you're not missing out, huh?
Well, on the enjoyable experience of eating more healthy food in the short term, but in the long term, you're still getting all of the negative benefits of eating poison.
Yeah.
Makes you sick, but it tastes good.
It tastes good. At least it tastes good, right?
A lot of times it only feels like it tastes good because you're addicted to a bunch of the substances in it. It doesn't really taste good.
Yeah. So you're saying it's hijacked. It's almost like your tongue is like in this Stockholm syndrome with your body.
Right. I don't really like milk and cookies. I like the satisfaction that my body gives me when it's like, we want more of that refined sugar.
That's cookies, yeah.
So we're kind of just junkies?
We're all junkies.
Hello, chat. Comment below.
Hello.
Seriously, though, that's kind of really what it is. We are in a paradigm where it's like that.
I mean, the economy is kind of a junkie in a way, right? In terms of like artificial liquidity, right? That's kind of like the sugar, right? Or the aspartame of economies.
The financial markets are addicted to injections of liquidity that do not actually have a net positive income. Did you see GDP numbers this morning?
No, tell me.
Hold on. I think I had a post about this a little while ago, or I commented on. Estimate was down it was estimated, US GDP number this morning was estimated at down 0.2%. Previous was down 0.2%. It was actually down 0.5%. That was more than double it's 1.5 times. Actually, it's 2.5 times the estimated decline in productivity.
Eric Weinstein, the guy who created geometric unity and manages Teal Capital, he's like managing director, I think. There.
Who?
Eric Weinstein.
Oh, okay, I know. Yeah, Brett, Eric. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, with Brett and
the
rest.
Yeah.
So he said that one of the so he said, we know that trees don't grow to the sky, right? That's a common phrase. Trees don't grow to the sky. But he said that when we look at corporations and how we judge them, they all have an ego. But he called ego an embedded growth obligation.
Okay.
And one of the challenges and conundrums for S&P 500 is it has an embedded growth obligation. If it doesn't grow year over year, it gets penalized and money gets reallocated stock-wise. And so I was thinking, in the long run, with this embedded growth obligation, maybe in the long run, corporations find themselves squeezing money any way they can to satisfy this ego.
Well, and that's the only reason for a corporation to exist, is to generate profits for its
at increasing levels, right?
No, at every level. The only purpose for a corporation, a for-profit corporation,
Mhm.
is to generate profits for its holders. That's the only reason. That's the only reason for a corporation to. I mean, it exists to provide. Obviously, it's used to provide that legal protection against a person versus the corporation and all of that
Right.
stuff. There's other aspects, but once it's formed, its obligation is to generate profits however it can. So the people that are charged with running that corporation have a actually fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders to just generate profits however they can.
And the compensation is tied to that increased shareholder value.
And their compensation is tied to that. Which, well, I mean, any compensation is tied to performance, right? To the
Yeah.
Because
if you don't think it is, yeah,
if you don't perform, eventually you're going to be let go.
Correct. There will be a reallocation.
There will be a reallocation. Exactly.
We're not supporting the corporate ego.
For not supporting and stroking, for not stroking the corporate ego.
No, it's fascinating because, again, you just look at, I think the weird thing is that, like I talk to Paul about this all the time, the Federal Reserve and blah, blah, blah. But technically, the Federal Reserve has positioned the America to be on top for the past 100 years. You could do a lot worse.
Yes. It's
I heard they want to be.
We could do worse, but you know what though? There's a lot of people struggling. There's a lot of people that aren't actually being. Not all the tide isn't rising all boats equally, and so some people are actually being left, bobbing and up and down in the water. Sharks circling around them, maybe getting a little nibble off of them every so often. They're not getting the same. They're not in the luxury liner. They're not in the private yacht. They're in a dinghy that's taking on water, and a lot of people are sinking. So we could do better. We can do much better than we're doing as a nation. Just being able to dominate the global financial markets doesn't mean that you've achieved the goal. Right. The goal is to improve everybody's.
It doesn't necessarily imply well-being, right?
What was that?
It doesn't necessarily imply well-being, just like the stock market
or balance, right? Like you could have, if all of that wealth generation is concentrated at the top, then all you're creating is a further broadening gap between the haves and the have-nots. And then the haves just throw a bone and say, well, you're doing better than you were last year because you have cell phones, or you have cheap TVs,
Those are all great things, though.
They're great things, but they don't actually sustain life.
How am I going to enjoy my bread if there's no circus?
How am I going to go to the circus if I don't have any bread?
Well, I joined the circus as an employee.
It's a tenuous situation because it's not obvious how to. There's a lot of trust in the system right now.
Hume said, just because we know what is doesn't mean we know what ought to be. right? And Sowell said there are no solutions, only trade-offs. We see that with the trilemma and everything else in life.
Well, but we just keep working to solve the problems, right? What are the problems? The problem isn't that people have a concentration of wealth. The problem is that people without that concentration of wealth aren't really able to live freely as the people with the concentration of wealth dictate the mechanisms of social order and establishing all of the rules of society that oftentimes create barriers to entry and marginalized competition, making it harder for people to actually just go be productive how they will.
Yeah, it makes me just think back to this whole topic from Colonel Barber that he was warning about re-centralization.
Well, and maybe that's really just what it all ends up being, is that we go through these periods between centralization, decentralization, re-centralization, decentralization, and that's just how it goes. You know, maybe we're just overthinking it.
I think when power gets too centralized, essentially there are coups. You can look around the world, right? There is a point at which things get so centralized that that it's not even healthy for the leader. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Right.
no, I agree that paradigm exists. But it's a very uncomfortable situation getting out of that.
No transition periods are not free.
Right. It's better to avoid going too far in either direction. You know, we don't want massive, chaotic.
Yeah, even Hero, we were talking about chaotic voting, and Hero was like, you know what? Fuck voting. Let's just. I'm gonna remember. His new title is Stacks Dictator, isn't it?
Yes, Tax Dictator.
Like, I thought you were the D grants guy. What's going on?
The D stands for dictator. That's the thing. Like, you know what? I love Hero so much, and I know that he would act extremely benevolently, but he doesn't really want that. He doesn't want that position. He doesn't want to be just dictating what's going to happen and people do it. He knows the value of actually getting the input from everybody else and putting all of that information together to then figure out the solution that works.
That guy has worked really hard during the past, ever since this. What is it now? What day is it? The 26th. So it is about 30 days almost since the SIP got dropped, and ever since that happened, he's been in overdrive.
Well, Hero's been putting in tons of work on a regular, constant basis since I really, probably even in like my first experience with Hero was when he was promoting Cohort 1, and I didn't understand anything about it. And I would get up in spaces and I don't even think he ever noticed, because it was I only a handful of times I jumped in and talked, and I didn't understand what they were talking about, and I was trying to understand people, and I would just get in and say things to try to introduce myself to the group that was there. And he was just constantly pushing then. Like, he was always having spaces, he was always having conversations, he was reaching out to people all the time. And then as Cohort 2 came along and I was like involved, and that's where I kind of really onboarded more into the community on Stacks. He's been nonstop since then, so over a year he's been going and going and going.
Yeah, and just interesting, the idea that this quadratic voting came up, and he was like, I'm sick of voting. I'm like, okay, so what's the alternative? Look at everyone from D Grants Phase 2 and everyone who's active on socials. That could be a good tool for the community for the initial proposals.
what is the alternative to voting? Do we offshore? Do we offload that decision making paradigm to the AI?
It
Do we
could
leave
be.
it to the AI to collect all the information from everybody and determine what the best solution is?
It is likely that the AI will be an interesting voice to have at the table. You know? What's Hero saying?
He says, yo, false. I kept the SIP vote, but grants need to be done quicker with trusted people for limited amount of money with no voting. So yes, fuck voting for some stuff. I trust GPSC. I trust these. I don't need them to go through grilling, applications, and voting. Oh, you trust me, dude?
Well, you and I really appreciate that, Hero, like a lot. But it's also got to be somebody without trust. There still has to be a process for somebody that hasn't established that trust to propose their idea. And honestly, even though you trust me, I still need to put together a valid, viable idea to get funded, right? I mean, depending on what I'm asking for, right? If I'm asking for a small dollar amount, then obviously it's not that big of a deal. It's easier to just say, yes, Peace is going to do what he can with this money. He'll probably get a way more of a return on $138 than we could imagine possible, right? But there still has to be some kind of guidelines as to what I would be being given money for. And I still have to meet that criteria somehow. And who establishes that? How do we establish that? It's not simple. Let me just see.
Yeah, the challenge with voting is on the internet, nobody knows that you're a dog.
Or that you're controlling, and to Landy's point too, like I love the idea of quadratic voting, but it's also, so the point of quadratic voting would be, for instance, like there's just huge ways. Some people hold a ton of stacks, like to the point where they could actually influence the outcome of a vote in a significant way.
Let's set a baseline to this. So how is voting currently done for SIP 31?
So voting on stacked SIPs is done through stx.eco. And the voting is done, you go to the website, you connect your wallet that is holding stacks, and you vote the stacks in your wallet. And that registers, that amount of stacks carries weight towards whether you voted yes or no for the SIP. There is a minimum threshold for a quorum for the vote, which there has to be at least 80 million stacks total voted. And then there also has to be, for a motion to pass, it has to have 80% yes vote. So if more than 20% of the community votes against something, it can be stopped, which is also kind of maybe also a slight, instead of actually being a quadratic voting applied to the number of votes you got.
They just raise
That's
the
way to apply it to the ecosystem, so that smaller number of people could actually stop a, if there's a marginalized group that is going to be harmed by a specific thing, they can potentially stop it with just 20% of the 20%, a little over 20% of the vote, which is also an interesting paradigm. If there was like serious opposition to SIP 31, that's a different threshold than having to do 51 to 49,
So when I voted, it looked like only like a little bit of dust was used.
It's a micro stack, so 0.0000. I think it's like 8 zeros, seven or 8 zeros. I think
it's like whatever million stacks. Is there that many people voting?
it's so the dust transaction is just the mechanism for registering your
Mechanism.
vote.
Okay.
So you send the dust transaction, that makes an on-chain transaction identifying that your wallet and the stacks within it are being voted towards whatever you selected as your choice.
Balance in my wallet is the amount of votes that get voted?
Yes.
There's a snapshot that takes place.
So is that the opposite of quadratic voting? That's the opposite of voting.
Well, it's one stack equals one vote voting. You know, so it's not quadratic, it's just direct one-to-one based on holdings.
It's as capital. It's voting by the amount of capital you have, would you say?
It's voting based on your stake in the ecosystem.
Correct.
Which that would be similar in the US would be if we just had everyone's vote count was weighted by how much dollars they held. But we don't do it that way, but we do have mechanisms within our governing apparatus that allow people to use their dollar holdings to influence electoral processes, legislative processes, executive processes, even judicial processes. So
So you're saying if we ran the U.S. government election the way that we were running SIP 31, billionaires would have 1 billion votes?
People might actually realize what the system, how the system's really run.
Maybe that's more direct realization.
It would be a more honest representation of political power. You're laughing because it's actually like almost undeniable that that's kind of the paradigm we have anyway. Have this facade that makes it look like it's more moral and on the up and up, so that they can actually justify everything else they fucking do.
Yeah, it's a thin veneer.
And opt out. You got the same vote as everybody else. If you didn't vote, shut up. If you did vote, then what are you worried about? And
Conspiracy is a thin veneer on capitalism. I like it.
I wouldn't call it capitalism. It's really the marriage of big business and government, which a century ago we called fascism.
Mm-hmm. What do you call it now?
I call it fascism still.
Mm-hmm. I thought we had like a new term, like a Gen Z term. You know?
Well, I can't help those guys come up with words. They don't get it.
GP, you know any of the new words? You're the...
I don't know what the millennials or the Gen Zs are calling fascism these days. Good question. Let me ask Rob.
So heroes know the process mostly happens during the conversation. I'm not sure exactly what he's referring to. I think he's talking about like governance of proposals and stuff like that. I'm not sure what he means.
Let's see what else Hero said. Let's take a look.
Vibe control.
Unproven folks. Oh. Oh yeah.
That's straight. That guy's a communist, bro. He's not. He's not.
Hold on. Tell me more about that. I've heard things about it, but
I've only heard things about it too, really. But from what I understand, this guy is I forget the guy's name, but the guy that they backed with the ranked choice voting and took Cuomo's lunch, which I have no love lost for Cuomo. He sucks so bad. Like
I thought there was a black guy in charge, Eric or something like that. He's no longer there.
I'm not sure what the deal is with the current mayor, but they had a ranked choice runoff for the primary, and the guy that they got in there was apparently like very, very left. I don't like using left versus right, to be honest, but very, very big government, like heavy socialist, bordering on the edge of communist.
So
that's who the media was able to manipulate people to go out and support.
So we've talked about the Texas Stock Exchange with BlackRock and Citadel.
Oh my gosh, where were I'm talking?
Oh, where's Zenny?
I'm sorry, Zenny. I'm sorry. I didn't even realize the time. We actually have a hard.
At a time like this.
Terrible. Guys, it is time for Find2Earn, and we're just going to give a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back. And I apologize, Zenny. We are back, and it is now time for Find2Earn. Whoops, I did that wrong. It is time for Find2Earn with the Game Master Xenitron. The Game Master is here in his true form. How are you today, sir?
I am fine. Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello. We have 5 game rounds plus the jackpot round. The game rounds are sponsored by RuCoin, LeoCoin, Bitcoin Pepe. Shout out, it's Bitcoin Pepe Thursday, Fact Fun, Flat Earth, and we have the jackpot round sponsored by Skullcoin with a lot of stacks up for grabs. First round is a whitelist round for new players only. Michael, you want to share?
I don't have my contacts in today. Can you please share?
I can do it unless GP wants to. I'll do it. I know GP's working on some. Well, GP's got like 6 projects he's working on right now. So I'm going to head over. Guys, by the way, you must share out the live stream. That is rule number 1. If you are playing, you share out the live stream. If you do not share out the live stream, but you're the first one to find the location, you will lose your prize. The Game Master will give the prize to the next person that finds it, and they might even just take your link and use your work to win their prize. So make sure you get over there and make sure you share out the live stream and make sure you like and repost the game rounds. And we're over at Skullcoin BTC on X. We're waiting for the countdown. Again, we have whitelist rounds for new players every Monday through Friday. If you are a new player, you're looking to get on this whitelist, let us know in the live chat. Let us know in the comments underneath the game rounds or underneath the live stream. We'll get you added to the whitelist rounds so you can participate without having to. We also have open rounds, so you do not have to be on a whitelist round to participate as a new player. You can participate in the open rounds after the whitelist rounds are over. And so with that, I think we're ready to launch. Are you ready for the first round, sir?
Yeah, let's go. We play double. We play simultaneously rounds for whitelist. Different people I add to whitelist randomly. Let's play and give opportunity everyone to participate and win some games. Yeah.
Very good. So I am, as you can see, I'm on the Skullcoin page, and I am waiting for the stream, for the countdown, for the Game Master to let me know it's time to count down. Once we count down, the game round will be populated here, and we're just going to refresh the screen.
Hold on, have you shared the live stream yet?
I have shared the live stream multiple times so far. But let me actually show you guys. You can go over to DeOrganized.btc. There is the live stream.
Oh.
I did a quote tweet. I do quote tweets.
So. Does that count, Xenitron?
It does count. I actually like quote tweets better. So if you guys like, share, quote, live stream, share it out, whatever. Share the link. I don't care. Then we're going back over to Skullcoin. And we are waiting for the countdown. Who's going to give us the countdown?
I can start this one. Ready, everyone?
Nope.
Skullcoin. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Allons-y, let's begin.
Okay, the games are launching. Let's go.
All right, we got back-to-back rounds. You guys will notice that, and here's the live stream. You guys will notice you got to like and repost the game. Oh, I don't have the game rounds yet. Let me refresh it down. So we have Fact Fun and B Pepe. We like. We repost the game rounds. I'll jump into the B Pepe game. So this is the image that we're looking for right here. And we're going to click this link. You can also get the link for the live round to share here, the live stream. Click this link. It's going to bring up my Google Maps. Share this image. And I'm looking for that image with the Pepe. So,
What color is the house?
it looks like it's a brick colored house with a terracotta roof.
She's
Easy games, let's go. Let the hunt begin for new players and intermediate players.
Could be this one.
Let's go.
Similar to that one.
Is this in Manchester or Liverpool, something like that?
Here, go back to my image and make sure. So I'm looking at the image. I think I gotta get. I'm not sure if this is the right house or not.
Looks like a good haunted house.
I don't think that's the right house. That could be it.
We have a winner for the Factory Fun.
We have a Fact Fun winner, but not for B Pepe yet. That's not it.
Factory Fun winner is a Zoe. Zoe.btc.
North Holland.
You know what's crazy? Nobody's on the street. Is that eerie? It's like 28 days later.
And we have a winner for the Pepe game. It's a player with nickname Captain Spoon.stx.
Okay, that's gorgeous.
Congratulations on your victory. And so we are going back to the Skullcoin page and we are waiting. Guys, let us know in the live stream that you have gotten back so we can launch the round 2 or the next series of game rounds for today.
Yeah, let's play the next game one by one.
Okay, that works for me. So again,
Everyone, get
shout
ready
out
for the next games.
Bitcoin Pepe, the Orange Frog, started by Pep Toshi, the founder, Mark, a great friend of ours at DeOrganized, and a huge, just tremendous participant in the Stacks ecosystem. We love Mark. And they have their space at 11 a.m. today. Tune in. Great vibes, great crew. Get to know them. And then Fact Fun. Rafa actually is one of the Bitcoin Pepe community as well. A tremendous dev on the Stacks ecosystem. And Fact Fun is his platform where you can launch new tokens, meme tokens, with a really innovative pre-launch phase. We love what Rafa is doing over at Fact Fun. So we have our next round ready to go. And we can give the countdown if you're ready, sir.
Okay, I'll count down. We play the rule round.
All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Repost, share the game and the stream. This is condition to win. Let's go. You have to find this architecture in Thailand.
All right. So we are on this page and we're looking for the roux won't be there, but we're looking for the image with the plants out front. You got this turquoise over here that might stick out, catch your eye. White building on the edge. Clicking on the link. Oops, that's not the link.
Sometimes I feel like it takes us longer to count down than it takes the players to find the place.
It does sometimes, I would say, right? It does seem that way. Let's see. So I'm on.
But then again, as the rounds go on and the value goes up, it gets harder and harder.
Yes. It's a little bit trickier, and towards the jackpot round, it gets a little bit harder. But sometimes people find those. Like we had a jackpot winner real quick yesterday. And
Really?
Yeah, super fast. And it's just you know, they got lucky. They dropped it. They dropped it in the right spot.
Yeah, beauty of our game, you can teleport on our planet to any place. You can be anywhere. That's Find2Earn. We have still no winner, only one MS, and winner, this is not the right location.
I will look at that.
You carry your screen? I'm only seeing the feed screen.
You have to find a small statue. In
What is
this
it?
small village.
Small village. Am I in the one that already got found? Hold on, which one am I playing? Oh no, it's just one. It's just Rue, right? So,
We're only seeing your Twitter right now.
oh, you're not. Oh, I didn't share this tab. Okay.
Here we go. Oh, purple roof. You don't see that often.
Can't drop it there. That's not it. Where are we in the world?
Thailand.
Thailand. All right.
That's Thailand? When I was a kid, I got introduced to Thailand from Street Fighter. What's the god?
Yeah.
That's where. Is that where Street Fighter takes place in Thailand?
Sagat.
One of the fighters.
Yeah.
Thailand. Tiger uppercut.
Tiger playing. Can you imagine if you saw like a Ryu and a Sagat fighting on the side of the street?
That'd probably be a little intimidating.
Because it almost looks like it could be the Chun-Li stage, right?
Yeah, it does. Like,
Okay, we have a winner, and it's Isaac.
All right. Congratulations, Isaac.
Is it?
in the game today. Let's go.
That one was definitely a challenging game. I had a hard time with it. Yeah, well, just so you guys know, I like to go and like the winning prediction on their game round just to give them a little support. We got it. Really is a great it's very good for us to have all of you players coming on and participating on a regular basis. We really appreciate you guys. So showing some love on the winners is always helpful too. But we're back on the Skullcoin page. Huge shout out to Rue, Jack FinSwitch, and the RueCoin community. Love what they're doing over there. It is an amazing community project on Stacks. All the chats are in the Rue community. So check them out if you have not. We have 2 more open rounds plus the jackpot round coming. So guys,
Let's go, everyone, get ready. Okay, let's play the flat round. It's easy but not standard. Let's go.
All right, let's
Everyone,
go.
get ready. I will count down. Get ready for a new round. We start in less than 1 minute.
Get back, get back.
You have to find the exactly picture from the photo. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Good luck. Welcome to the lecture.
I have problems when it's dirt roads.
All right, so this is a flat earth round. We're liking or reposting the game round, clicking on that link, and we're fingering everything. And we are looking for, it looks like it's like an outdoor theater or something. That's interesting. That is interesting. Let's see where we can find that. I dropped stuff off in here.
Nice place.
I guess it's not that much.
Greedy is so sick.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. It does give you that angle. You can look at the houses a little bit better. This is how Orange wins. He gets into that.
Man, I'm like looking overhead like a loser. I found it's I use my direction pad to help me move around.
You know, I don't. You use the arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually just click, and I think I might be walking through things too quickly that way. Huh.
Okay, we have a winner. Lil Dude is a winner. The
Little
second one,
dude.
Megaphone. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, get back, everybody. Get back.
We have a lot of players who found it. Nixie, Fikri, Assistant Boyfriend, Isaac, Lil Dude, it's Megaphone. All of them found the location. Very nice and DeFi Dictator. Well played. The first was Lil Dude.
All right, so we are on the Skullcoin page, and we are waiting. Guys, let us know in the live chat when you're ready.
Okay, in 1 minute we play one more round. It's a Leo. Get ready.
Awesome. We got Leo round coming up. Huge shout out to the Leo crew, Rubes, and everyone over there, and all that they're doing for us in Stacks. Huge value add to the community, and great stuff going on with the Leo coin crew. Fikri is ready and has not won yet today, so
Okay, let's go. We are launching roof. Who wanna count down? You have to find the roof.
find the roof
Find the Leo on the roof. Let's go.
on the roof. On the roof.
Yeah, on the roof.
All right, I'm ready. Let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Let's go. The game launch. The winner will receive 50,000 of Leo. Find Leo.
All right, so you're looking for the cat on the roof. Okay. Maybe on a hill a little bit, a little higher than some of the other houses. That could be a clue. Clicking on that link. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I didn't like and share the round. That's not what we want to do. Just going back and liking and reposting the game round. Where do I get that route? How do I?
Okay, we have no only one MS. It's a different building, not the right one.
I want to zoom.
Okay, we have a lot of players who found the winner. The first person was Isaac. Isaac is the winner of this round,
Congratulations.
and it's remaining only the jackpot round, the last for today. Everyone get ready. In a couple of minutes we'll launch it.
All right, guys, get back. Get back. I think I found the general area where we should have been looking. Right, so we are back on the Skullcoin page, which I apparently never left. We're waiting for the round to be ready for the jackpot round. It is a new jackpot round, so it's 20 STX up for grabs for this round. And Zenny, whenever you are ready, you let me know and we'll get into the countdown.
Okay.
If you need a minute, let me real quick while we have a minute and we're waiting.
Yeah, okay, 1 minute.
Cool.
We are ready, but I just want everyone get back.
Everyone get back and give me a minute to shout out Stacking DAO, the leading liquid staking platform for the Stacks network. Stacking DAO is changing the game. by letting users earn up to 10% APY on their STX while keeping their assets liquid. Unlike traditional staking, their unique design means no minimums, and users start earning rewards immediately, so there are zero switching costs from other stacking pools to stacking DAO. Plus, you've got options. Choose to get your rewards in STX or SBTC, whatever fits your strategy. Want to start earning yields today? Head over to stackingdao.com and jump on in. Stacking DAO is where liquidity meets opportunity. And when you're looking to engage with the top decks on Stacks with the best swap rates, you should head over to BitFlow. They are the top decks on Stacks, letting you trade native BTC, STX, SBTC, USDC, runes, and more, all in one place by aggregating prices on Alex, Arcadico, and Valar. Recently, BitFlow rolled out Flex Pools, launching with STSTX, STX to support liquid staking assets, offering flexible deposits, smarter rewards, and deeper liquidity over at bitflow.finance. We are very fortunate to have two amazing sponsors for our shows. We are waiting. Is it time for the countdown, sir?
Let's go.
Let's go. We are on the page.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. We'll give you like 3 minutes, and nobody find. We will move this price tomorrow.
You have 3 minutes. And when the time is up, the Game Master will actually launch. Just drop the coordinates. So if you see the coordinates dropped by the Game Master, you know your time is up. He'll also let us know that he's done that. But you're looking for this image here. The old boat graveyard here with some trash actually should stand out. Might be a little bit easy to find if you know what you're looking for. Might not be. Let me zoom out a little bit, see if I can kind of. I'm gonna drop that in there. No, that's not even. Let me actually see this. All right, stop the area. If I were gonna dump all of my old gear, where would I do it? Where would I do it? Go further that way. Okay. Found the cows. There's no cows in this one. Let's see. All right, it's probably not the location.
Okay, we have a lot of players, so we'll give you like 1 minute more and remove price tomorrow.
All right, hurry up, guys. Although there's nothing wrong with having a big price for tomorrow either.
Okay, 20 seconds more, and I will post the result. We have answers from Hanif, Didion, Cash, but it's different location. Since it's not the Gib image, you have to find exact place.
Let's see. Well, I don't think I got it. That was a tough one, Zenny.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Let's move this price tomorrow. We stop this hunt for today.
All right. Well, congratulations to all of our winners. Guys, tune in back tomorrow for more opportunities to find to earn with the Game Master. Thank you all for tuning in today. GP, thank you so much. GP, what do you got going on for the day?
Yeah, just getting set up for the Stacking Dow Pokemon tournament. We do a Pokemon tournament at 11 a.m. Thursdays. That is Eastern time. So getting ready for that and setting up some more stuff like got our weekly contest for content creators going on in Zest and Stacking Dow Discord. So just reaching out to everybody and making my rounds. You know what it is. It's a high frequency Thursday.
Nice. We will be in the marketing working group meeting shortly, and then Bitcoin Pepe at 11 a.m. We got Bitcoin and Beyond with Melanie and the Hermetica crew. Also catch the final episode, from what I understand, of Leather Lounge with Longstreet and Munib at noon today. And then, guys, tune in for DeOrganized Nightly every Monday through Friday with GP. And
we have marketing call, yeah?
What's that?
We have marketing call, yeah?
Yes, at 10:45.
Okay, thank
Half
you.
an hour.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Xenitron, as always. Always a pleasure. Xenitron gives us a lot of time and a lot of energy to making these games happen, by the way. So you guys should all give him a shout. Make sure you're following him. He does a lot for us. So we're really appreciative. Same thing with GP. GP's always, if you guys aren't following GP, you're not a Chad in this space. That's all I'm saying. Love you, GP. I'll talk to you soon, man. I'll catch you later. You all have a blessed day. I am Peace Love Music. We are DeOrganized Media, coming at you live on BitcoinLive, Decentralized, broadcasting every Monday through Friday. Thank you for tuning in today. You all have a blessed rest of your day. Peace out.